All right, welcome to video 2. If you have not seen video 1, go back and watch that one first and we'll continue on. We're starting with point 14 today, policemen and cowboy hats. For our guys, it felt like we had stepped straight into some kind of Western movie. A few of the boys joked that it looked like the cops were about to gallop off on horseback chasing some kind of bandit. Back in Poland, police officers tend to be more serious, rarely smiling and always looking ready to hand out a hefty fine for even the tiniest mistake. Ask any Pole and they will nod in agreement. But in Texas, totally different story. The officers we met were incredibly friendly, helped us with directions, and they were genuinely curious about who we were and what had brought us all the way to Texas. We really appreciate that, Texas police. Thank you. And honestly, we love the cowboy look, and someone said, I hope that never goes out of style, and I agree. Staying with the police for just a moment more, 15th point, the police cars in Texas are mostly huge SUVs. In Poland, our police drive Kia station wagons and tiny Suzuki SUVs that are nimble and quick. In Texas, the cops drive around in rolling fortresses. We couldn't help but wonder what they need all that space for. It's intimidating, but it's also impressive at the same time. For point 16, because we are a sports team, I took them several times to Academy Sports, Dick's Sporting Goods, and another kind of Western ranch store called Murdoch's. The first thing that caught their attention was the wide selection of guns and rifles available for purchase. But when they wanted to buy whiskey or vodka, we had to go to a separate liquor store, and the underage kids had to wait outside. They could not show their presence there. They were surprised that buying hard alcohol wasn't nearly as easy as it is in Poland, where you can find it in almost any grocery store. One of them even summed it up like this: "It seems like it's much easier to buy a gun here than it is a bottle of vodka." That totally blew their minds. I tried my best to explain the legal complexities around buying firearms, especially handguns, but I'm not sure they really believed me at the end of the day. Point 17, ranch life is real in Texas. We saw these massive properties bigger than some towns in Poland. They're like mini kingdoms. My brother-in-law let us take 3 large Kawasaki mules, like extra large golf carts, and tour his entire ranch. It's enormous. There is simply nothing quite like a Texas ranch. Point 18, we got to tour Dyken Park, home of the Houston Astros, inside and out. While down on the field, a few of our boys asked our tour guide if they could, with our gloves, play catch, and they did just that. I could not believe they actually agreed. For my Polish baseball players, it was the equivalent of them getting to practice their penalty kicks in Warsaw's National Soccer Stadium. The grass at Dyken Park was immaculate. I mean, everything was beautiful and just top-notch. What a treat it was to see everything. I just had to share that with you. If anybody's watching from Dyken Park, thank you again for that experience. Point 19, let's stay with sports for just a moment more. My Polish group was absolutely stunned by the incredible loyalty people have to their colleges and college teams. It was on display everywhere we went. Texas A&M is the perfect example. Texas A&M's sports scores were even brought up during Catholic Mass that we attended. They were especially astonished by the sheer scale of the facilities. Take Texas A&M's Kyle Field football stadium, for example. 103,000 seats. That is more than the entire population of some cities in Poland. In fact, it's over half the size of my city of Częstochowa. It was like stepping into a sports wonderland for them. To them, it really did seem that Americans live and breathe sports 24/7. And I don't think that's far off. Point 20, the Texas flag is a beautiful flag and it's absolutely everywhere. And the flags you'll find are absolutely enormous, some nearly the size of a football field. For my group, it felt like Texans were in a friendly competition with each other to see who could fly the biggest flag. You cannot escape it. In Poland, we take pride in our flag too, but there are specific and strict laws that regulate when and how the flag can be displayed. Seeing the flags here left quite an impression on our group, and we got a lot of positive comments about those flags. It was truly a standout feature of being in Texas. Point 21. We spent a lot of time walking the downtown areas in Houston and in Austin, and they were clean and beautiful. Tall, modern buildings, tidy streets, lots of activity. It's definitely improved since I lived there. In Poland, our old towns have history and charm, but in Texas, the downtowns are modern and impressive with an entirely unique style of their own. It was just something that kind of made an impression on them downtown. Point 22, I mentioned this just a moment ago. Much to my surprise, about half of my group chose to attend a Sunday Catholic Mass at a church in College Station. They were genuinely surprised by how different it was from what they're used to in Poland. They described it as livelier and more celebratory. In contrast, Mass in Poland tends to be more traditional and solemn. It was fascinating for them to experience things like singing, smiling, clapping, and a more joyful atmosphere within the Catholic Church. These are elements that are rarely seen in a typical Polish Mass. I've been to a few and I can confirm that. For point 23, we have to touch on the Texas hospitality. This is the best part. The people. Everyone found most Texans we met to be so friendly and welcoming. Texans smile, they wave, they chat with you, they ask if you need help, they greet you when you enter stores, and they take interest in you, as I mentioned, and make you feel at home. In Poland, smiling happens, but too much can make you look like you're a little bit crazy in the head. People are generally more reserved in Poland until they get to know you a little bit better. But I have to give praise to my players for engaging with their Texas counterparts on the baseball diamond. They did a great job. They made new contacts quickly, exchanged some nice gifts with the players, and also traded some Instagram and other social media contacts. It was all just amazing, and we're hoping some of those players come to Poland in the future and play us. Well, 23 people, 23 points, differences in our cultures that I just had to share with you. A big video is coming out. One of our players is a film guru, and he took great high-quality pictures of everything, video clips of everything we did, and he's going to compile that. And I especially would like to put this on my YouTube profile for those of you who donated to this trip. Thank you again. If you're watching and you donated to our cause, thank you, dziękuję bardzo. We made use of every grosz of that money. The boys had a fantastic time, and you will see that in the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. I'm going to be putting out more material. I've been a little bit slow lately with this baseball trip and a lot of other things going on, but I'm never giving up this. I am going forward with my channel. Click the button back here on that beautiful Mistów Poland landscape so you don't miss out on future episodes. Thank you for watching today, and wait for that video. It's on the way. Bye.